G'day, Groovers. Bit of an experiment today to see if anyone even joins me, but also please come and join me over on the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen channel. I'm streaming on both the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen and Better Call Tour, but eventually all my food stuff's going to happen over here. So Shxtty Kitty Kitchen and Better Call Tour. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button for the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen if you enjoyed the cooking. Now, I've been promising to make this for like 2 weeks, and I keep buying mushrooms, and I've made so many mushroomy things, including a risotto. But I promised to make it. I go back to work tomorrow, and it's like, yep, make some soup. So I've got some beautiful, yummy soup to have when I get home from work tomorrow night. And also, I'm off to a yoga retreat today, so it'll be nice to have someone I get home from that. Hey, beautiful Deb, how are you? Thank you again for your gorgeous message the other day. This is a really speedy recipe too. It won't be a very long live, but I might chat after I've made the soup because I want to make up some chicken toasted sandwiches that I freeze, and I take them to work for my lunch with a piece of fruit and a treat. So I might keep just doing that if people are hanging out. But this is a really easy recipe. I've popped it in the description. It's a Donna Hay, and it's super easy. It's just a cream of mushroom soup, and it's an absolute winner. I haven't made it before, but I already know it's a winner because everything she does is a winner. So I'm just going to get on with it and just hang out with me. You need 500 grams of mushrooms, and just a little tip. These mushroom bags that you get when you buy your mushies, roughly a full bag or fullish bag is about 500 grams, just to give you an idea of the quantity. Hey, Lee, how are you, gorgeous? So you do need 500 grams of mushrooms, whatever sort you can get. You haven't thought of freezing toasties. Yeah, look, I used to do meal preps, as you know, and I'd come home and have, whatever for dinner. But then one day I was like, I actually prefer to make toasties, have them at work for lunch and a piece of fruit. We only get a half-hour lunch break. We've got a really good toaster oven in the kitchen, like like a sandwich press. And if you go out and buy one now, you're paying like $18 for one. So I just do those, and yeah, you freeze them up and just take them out of the freezer the night before, rock up at work, whack on a bit of butter on both sides, toast her up, and always yummier than the shit that you buy. So I've got a barbecue chook that I'm going to shred. I do vary them, like I've done salami ones, ham ones and stuff, but it's chicken. And it's really cool when you're packing a lunch for work and you find one in the freezer. It's like, you beauty. I love mushies too. So I might get on with chopping these groovers up first. You've never made mushroom soup, Leah? You're a good cook. You'll find this so easy. It's actually one of Donna Hay's recipes that she says 10 minutes. So they're pretty quick. And absolutely Duck River butter. We've got share butter at work, and it's always Duck River. So with the mushrooms, firstly, don't wash them. People do, and it just messes them up. If there are little bits of fertilizer or whatever on it, you can get like a little damp paper towel and just remove it, or even remove it with your finger or your knife, whatever you want. But don't wash them. It completely fucks them up. But I do take the base of the stem off, not the whole stem. I cook the stems as well, but I find they're really woody, even if you cook them. And we're just going to chop these groovers up. Now, if you used like a button mushroom, you wouldn't even need to chop them up. But this is a blended soup. You can leave it chunky if you want, but I like blended soups. But if I was making this without going live, it seriously does take 10 minutes. It's super quick, which is why I thought I'd show you this recipe, because it's a winner. It's a winner mushroom dinner. How's everyone been? Are you guys watching me on Shxtty Kitty Kitchen, or are you over on Better Call Tour? Because I've got chat open for both, so I've got no idea. But if you like the cooking stuff, do subscribe to Shxtty Kitty Kitchen, because that's where I'm going to be doing all my cooking stuff. But yeah, stalks and all with your mushrooms. And again, like, I mean, these are pretty clean, but I saw a cooking video the other day and this girl washed the mushrooms and I was like, well, there goes the mushrooms. Yuck. A bit of fertilizer never hurt anyone. Well, that's actually not true, but I mean, if you buy really super dirty mushrooms, well, then that's on you. But you're better off just using a paper towel and wiping that crap off. You're in the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen. Go, Deb. Hit that subscribe and reminder, the notification bell. I just decided I'm going to be doing way more cooking, and it's kind of like just put it, because what I was doing was cooking on the other channel, and then I had to download the videos, and then I tried to edit them so they weren't like 3 hours and it only took 10 minutes to make something. And it's like, just do it all over here. Sometimes I'll edit, but what I'm going to do, like if I do 2 dishes, I'm actually going to set up 2 lives, and I'll do each one in its own live. Even though my preferred style of cooking is to have 3 or 4 things. Actually, I'm keeping that paper bag. I do prefer to have quite a few things on the go at once, but I've decided I'm just going to I'm just going to do individuals. Unless it's something like make it and then it goes in the oven for an hour, and then I'll just edit them up so they're all individual. But yeah, just roughly chop up your mushies. I'll just pop them in a bowl. You make stuffed mushrooms. Yeah, paper towel dusting's the way to go. Please don't ever wash them. It's just the worst thing you can do. They just go soggy, and it doesn't matter how you cook them. Even if you try to fry them, they just have this slimy texture. Hey, David Topping, how are you? My notifications are working. That's good news. Yay. All right, now I'm going to put the heat on the stove. This is a big-ish saucepan, but it's not like the biggest one I've got. You don't need to have like a huge pot for this amount. It's not a massive soup. I mean, you'll get 4 serves out of it. I'll probably get 6 because I generally have smaller. And obviously, like if you do some yummy bread or something with it, you can make it go a lot further. We also need to chop up an onion. We'll put the heat on the stove. And you want it on a high heat. So while we do the onion, I'll get that heating up. How's everyone been? I can't believe I go back to work tomorrow. I've had the most beautiful break. It's been really busy. I've done lots of stuff. But here we are. Although I've got this 2-hour yoga workshop tonight, which is going to be lovely, or this afternoon, 4 o'clock. I thought I'd do that so then I'm all nice and zen for going back to work. It's a type of yoga tonight called yin, which is where you hold a pose for like 5 minutes. It's really good for stretching and stuff and working on your internal organs. But you get all floaty at the end of it. And then the yogi who's doing it also does, like she plays singing bowls, but like really beautifully. And at the very end, there's literally half an hour of her just playing music while we all lie under our blankets and get all snuggled and go off into like floaty land. You're always good news. Good to hear. So, yeah, just finely chop an onion, and if you're lucky enough to have one of these little Tupperware spinner things, even better. And we're going to put 30 grams of butter, Duck River butter. We're not using oil. We're going to cook the onion and the mushrooms in butter because butter tastes better. And 30 grams is like just think of a matchbox. That's pretty much 30 grams, give or take. We'll get that melting. And I'm also going to get a wooden spoon. Sunny's awake now and has the zoomies. Her timing is impeccable. What are you guys all cooking for lunch or dinner? Anything excitement? I haven't made stuffed mushrooms for a long time. They're yum. Oh, Sunny, have you got the zoomies? It's yummy already. Just the melted butter's yummy. I'm just trying to get it. It's starting to melt and foam up a little bit, and I'll put the first lot of onion in and then do the second bit of onion. But we're just going to cook the butter, onion, and mushrooms for about 3 to 4 minutes till the onion is soft, basically. You'll be amazed at how quick this is. I was originally going to do air fry brownies and I was going to make something else. I can't even think what it was, but it's just the mushroom soup. Oh, spaghetti bolognese. My friend in America was having that last night for dinner. We always chat about what we're cooking. All right, so the butter's not foaming and smelling amazing. I wish you guys could smell Duck River butter when it's so yummy. I'll just put that first bit of onion in and get the other one whizzed. And I'm going to add these mushrooms, the 500 grams of just roughly chopped, because like I said, we're going to blend it up anyway. So they can start doing their thing, and I'm just going to get the other onion happening. I'm going for the least amount of washing. Normally I'd do the whole onion and do that first, but they're all going to just cook together. So you made spaghetti with clam sauce. Yum. What do you put in your clam sauce? You made a Swiss steak last night. What is that? Does it have cheese? I love my little onion chopper. It's like a little lawnmower. Just give it a bit of a stir to mix it all through. But I love soups, but I love soups that are sort of like I used to love minestrone and vegetable soup and chicken vegetable soup, stuff like that. But I much prefer soups that are sort of one ingredient focused. In my older age, I've always loved cream of mushroom soup. Give it a good stir so you get the butter all over everything. But yeah, 3 to 4 minutes. We're on a high heat. Just going to put a tiny bit more butter in. I think that was like 25 grams. We need 30. Oh, yum with garlic. Yum. Beautiful. That's an awesome pasta. I've eaten a similar pasta many a time. So yeah, just add a little bit more butter for that. While they're doing their thing and softening, I'm just going to measure out 3 cups of milk. Now, I do use the lactose-free because not that I'm lactose intolerant, I just prefer it. Don't forget, guys, always clip bits of plastic like that with your scissors. You don't want that to end up floating around and getting around some little baby animal's neck or little sea critter. So anything circular, like from jars or flavoured milks or anything like that, your normal milk cartons, just clip that so it doesn't end up becoming an environmental hazard. And yeah, so you want 3 cups of your milk of choice. I'll just turn that around so I can actually see the 3 cups. Cheap steak, slow cooked in a tomato. Oh, yum. I've got a recipe for chump chops, which are lamb chops. And it's like the really cheap, nasty cut, like really bad meat that our dads used to, for some reason, even still butchers and supermarkets do like a barbecue pack, and they always include these really cheap lamb chops. But if you slow cook them, it falls off the bone. It's so yummy. And I do a recipe with like a beautiful Middle Eastern. Oh my God, they smell yummy. I mean, butter, mushrooms, and onions. Yum. There we go. Looking good. Just give it another 30 seconds, I reckon. Yeah, and these chump chops that butchers almost give them away just end up incredibly tasty and falling off the bone. They're so yummy. The trick is, like you know, David, you slow cook it. All right, the onion's pretty much softened, and we're just going to add 3 cups of milk, and we're going to bring it up to the boil. Despite trying my hardest not to spill any milk, I still did. Not much, but a messy kitchen's a good kitchen. So you add your milk and bring that up to the boil. This is so easy, it's ridiculous. And when it comes up to the boil, we're then going to whack it onto a simmer for like literally 3-4 minutes max. And like I said, if I didn't go live and chat, this would be done in 10 minutes. I've got a heap of recipes I'm going to do that I've ripped out of one of her magazines because I've been culling everything and saving recipes. And these are 10 meals in 10 minutes. So you'll be seeing a lot of these over the next few weeks because I really want to show people how easily and quickly you can make something really yummy. And the one thing I love about Donna Hay is she really has a shitload of ingredients, and everything that I've cooked of hers, I've never had a Donna Hay failure. But I'll be doing other cooks stuff as well. But I really want this channel to encourage people to have a crack at home cooking, people who think they can't cook or they lost their interest in cooking because they were feeding children for like 20 years. So they were cooking basic sort of kid-friendly shit and they're overcooking. And also just the way everything's going right now. Like if you can go to a farmer's market and grab, you know, even a kilo of cheap mushrooms and make up a big batch of mushroom soup, you'll get a lot of meals out of it, lunches and dinners and so on. And it's really lovely. I love in winter always having a soup in my fridge because like tomorrow night when I get home from work, I'll literally have a bowl of soup with a really yummy, I'll pick up some yummy fresh bread. Hey, Shxtty Nonna. How are you, gorgeous? I put a link on my Better Call Tour page. I pinned it for anyone that goes there. If you want to click that link, it'll bring you over to the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen channel, which is where I'm going to be doing all of my cooking from now on. There'll be a little transitional phase, but for the most part, like fairly soon, I'm literally just going to cook on the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen, which will be good because it'll be fun to see if we attract some, you know, cooking people. And we can all just hang out here and talk food all day. But yeah, I was also going to make air fry brownies, but I've got some muesli bars and oatmeal bars and things like that in my pantry, and I want to eat them all up before I start making the little treats. But I will do that soon because I'm learning how to use my air fryer and starting to experiment and stuff like that. So it's cute too. It's like a little miniature of my oven. It's just over there at the end. It looks like a little shrunken stainless steel oven, but it matches. It's even got the same handle as my stove. So, yeah, we'll be doing some air fryer stuff too because I'm quickly learning that it's a really fast, easy way to cook. Compost bowl out of the way. So just getting mushrooms, milk, onion, and butter up to the boil. And once it hits boiling point, then we're just going to simmer it for 3 or 4 minutes. How have you been, Shxtty Nonna? How's your weekend travelling? But yeah, I'm super keen to do lots of experiments and try things out in the air fryer as well. If it doesn't have cat hair in it, it's not home cooking. Yeah, there's a Siberian cat group on Facebook that my cousin added me to because Sunny's not a Siberian, but she looks like one. And one of the memes that was in that group was, "Welcome to our home. Everything here comes with a garnish," and then in tiny print in brackets it had cat hair. You've been using your air fryer more and more. It does your head in how it works. It's really just a convection oven that has a really powerful fan. That's all it is. It's still an oven, but it just circulates air, and that's how it maintains the temperature, whereas these big ovens, they'll heat up to the temperature you want, and then they have a thermostat. So when the temperature starts to drop, they'll start heating up again, whereas the air fryer just keeps it constantly at that heat by circulating it rapidly with a big fan. Been working on aquatic plants. Nice. All right, we're nearly at the boil here. You'll be amazed at how quick this is, but also how bloody yummy it is. And I'm going to show you a posh little garnish too. But yeah, nearly at the boil. And as soon as it comes to the boil, we're going to whack it down onto low and just let it simmer for 3 or 4 minutes. And while that's simmering, I'm going to get the cream and my hand blender and my fancy little garnish sorted out. What sort of aquatic plants have you been working on? I've got a friend who does the whole air plant thing. I mean, I find them interesting to look at, but they're too sort of, I've tried to keep my house very sort of minimalistic and very straight lines and simple sort of solid things. The air plants look very airy-fairy, but she's got a whole wall of them and they're really interesting to look at. But they're all in little glass sort of bowls and bubbles and like beakers and test tubes, and it looks like a rack of sort of a science experiment, and they're always sparkling, and I just couldn't be bothered cleaning them all the time. But she loves it. All right, so we're almost at the boil, pretty close. But yeah, as soon as it gets to the boil, you're going to put it onto a simmer for 3 or 4 minutes. Just whack it down to the low. Oh, no, see, now you're getting, that's already complicated my brain's getting on her. You only do ones that don't require it. How do you find that out? Lots of research, probably. I'll just grab my cream. Oh, they're fully submerged. Wow. All right, so we're at the boil, so we're going to whack it straight down to low and then just let it simmer for a few minutes. So while that's doing that, you're going to need 1/4 cup of cream. Oops. I'm just using, I'm actually using a thickened cream, but you can use thickened cream, you can use single or pouring cream, any kind of cream will do. But it's cream of mushroom, and I love me some thickened cream. I'm not going to bother dirtying this, but you need 1/4 cup, which is that much. I like to guesstimate. Just put a big blob and go, yeah, that'll do. You have snails, freshwater shrimp, and some small fish in tanks. And wow. You'd probably get on really well with my air plant friend. So grab the salt and pepper. Oh, and the posh little garnish we're going to do. We're actually going to put some Parmesan cheese. Now, I always love parsley, chives, things like that on my soup, but she recommends we do some freshly shaved parmy. So that's all we're going to do. And you can buy special cheese slicing gadgets. Beautiful block of parmy. Yeah, you can buy a little fancy cheese, but I just use my veggie peeler and literally just peel some Parmesan off. Or as you Americanos say, Parmesan. I would obviously do a bit more, but I'm going to do a fairly small bowl just to do a taste test. I'm just going to slice that a little bit on the diagonal. That's looking pretty good, and it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. So add your 1/4 cup of cream. Like I said, I just guesstimated it. Give that a big stir. Whack in some salt and pepper. It's all about the seasoning, groovers. That's the key to yummy cooking, is always season. I can't handle unseasoned food. Seasoning is the trick to making your cooking good or great. And this whole, anti-salt movement. Hey, Anastasia Beaverhausen, good to see you, Groover. Yeah, the whole, don't season, don't do salt and pepper, it's evil and all of that sort of stuff. No, life's too short to eat bland food. I'm sorry. But we eat food a lot, and I'm not eating 3 meals a day that aren't seasoned. That's ridiculous. And also my body doesn't retain sodium. So if you've got a body that craves salt, eat it. You need it for your brain health. Don't bypass salt because some doctor somewhere said salt's evil. I mean, you don't want to put 500 grams of salt in everything you make, but you just season it with a little bit. So anyway, here's our mushroom soup. It's all ready to be blended now. It's the quickest, easiest, yummiest. And you can either whack it in a blender or use your stick blender, which I prefer. Sorry, my power board's upside down, so we're back to front. So I was like, fuck, how do I get that in? Looks delicious. It does look delicious. Mushroom soup, and literally would take you 10 minutes to make. It's super quick. So in goes my hand blender, but I'm actually going to put it on a low speed because it's mushrooms. They're really soft anyway. I'll try not to noise pollute for too long. If you like your soups with chunks in it, have it like this. But me, I like it blended. Some soups I'll do chunky, but most I blend. Like I don't blend a chicken laksa, for example. We found out about the salt thing because my dad used to put so much salt on all of his food. Like he was a salt fiend. And he was in hospital and his sodium levels dropped to half a point above a level that could have rendered him permanently insane. And this doctor called us all in and chatted about it and asked the three of us if we always put salt on our food. And we were like, yep. And he's like, yeah, your family's not good at retaining sodium, so please don't stop eating salt. And one of the problems Dad had was the saline bags in hospitals have even reduced their sodium levels. So he was put on a much higher sodium drip because his levels were so low. So that's how we found out. Have you got the same sort of stories getting on it? Now, if you didn't want a little bit of mushroom texture, you could fully blitz the crap out of this in, a blender. I'm going to crank it up a little bit, but I don't mind that there's little bits of mushroom in it. I'm not precious is what I'm saying. But if you want it completely smooth, just blend the bejesus out of it. Yeah, they do get in on it. Yep. And I've always got electrolytes with me as well. But, yeah, I've got to be really careful with, like I do drink 8 glasses of water a day, but I don't drink any more than that. Like it's 8 or less. I remember I went through this whole, I've got to drink 3 litres of water a day. And I was really working out at the gym a lot and doing heaps of exercise, eating really healthily. And I was just exhausted the whole time. So, yeah, I'm pretty careful, but I normally drink about 1.5 litres a day, which is probably like 6 cups. But then I also drink 4 herbal teas a day too. If anyone's over on Better Call Tour, jump on over to the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen channel. The link's in the pinned comment. And I can see chat from both channels, but I'd love you guys to come over and subscribe. Let's get this cooking channel to 100 subscribers. And that's pretty much as far as I want to go with it because I can see that there's no more large chunks of mushroom. But even if I get one, I just eat it. It's no biggie. And that's basically it. I'll ladle some into a bowl. It's still a little bit fluffy from being blended, but you'll get the idea. Your grandmother had to limit fluid. No one has said anything about hereditary. Well, the doctor didn't tell us it was hereditary, just that we were all really bad at retaining sodium. So whether that's what they were implying or not, but the fact that all 3 of us put salt on our food. And, I mean, I think there are some foods that you should always have salt with, like eggs anyway and tomato. But we put salt on everything, and not everything. We don't put, well, actually now these days I do put salt in some desserts. All right, so it's not usually going to be frothy. If you let it settle for a few more minutes, the froth goes. But that's basically what it looks like. So you can see it has got little mushroom flecks in it. Like I haven't blended it till the point that you can't even recognize that it's got mushroom in it. And then the garnish, just pile on some freshly sliced Parmesan cheese, break it up a little bit, make a little stack in the middle. This is the perfect thing for me to have a little bit before I go off to this yoga thing. And then some cracked pepper, because it just, mushroom soup's a bit brown. It just adds a bit of colour and more seasoning as well. And like I said, you know, serve it with a beautiful, there it is. Isn't that pretty? But yeah, serve it with a beautiful piece of crunchy bread or whatever, freshly baked, crunchy bread with butter. And I'm just going to do the little taste test because I haven't, I mean, I've cooked a lot of Donna Hay in my life, but I haven't actually made this before. I've got a bit of palmy in there as well. I like that she suggested palmy because I usually just go straight for the herbs. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's beautifully seasoned. The little Parmesan kick is really nice. The mushrooms have got heaps of flavour. So, again, what do we learn from today? Not that we did it, but that message I told you. Oh, hang on, my camera's gone. Oh, no, that's just the cable. I was thinking, God, there's all these cables. That's from my blender. Okay. It's really yummy. To be honest, it actually needs a bit more salt. What were we saying about salt, Groovers? It's really easy. Like, look at this live, 35 minutes, and I'm eating it. You seriously could make this in 10 minutes. Whack it all on. Get everything else ready for when the onion has softened. Have your milk ready. Whack that in. But it's delicious. And I mean, it does have a beautiful creamy flavor, but it's mainly milk. Like, it's not it's not a huge bottle of cream. So although it tastes creamy because it has got some cream in it, there's not mountains of cream. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Delish. Stop on your way home, grab a bag of mushrooms. You'll have everything else you need at home. Maybe not the Parmesan, but you could always use just some herbs or, a bit of salt and pepper, whatever you want to garnish it with. But, yeah, it's delicious, and it's a 10 out of 10. I thoroughly recommend it. Perfectly yummy for kids too. It's delicious. So there you go, Groovers. Well, make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications bell because, yeah, we're going to try and get to 100 subscribers over here. Would be really exciting. I had 92 when I went live. How many have we got now? Just refresh the page. 94. Woohoo! We'll be at 100 by the end of the year. No, I'm kidding. We're going to be at 100 very soon. But that's it basically, guys. So thanks for hanging out. I do have to make some toasted sandwiches to take to work. I don't know if you guys want to keep hanging out. What's the time? 2:15. I might actually end this live because I need to get on with prepping those. And I'll just chat and suddenly it'll be 3:45 and I won't be in my yoga gear. So I think I'll bail, Groovers. But thoroughly recommend it. The link to the recipe's in the description. I found a blogger who's made it. I don't think her photos or his photos are as good as mine. Look at that. Oh, the Parmesan. Yeah. Do it with Parmesan, guys. It's worth it. Yum. Even if you've got the already sliced or the little thin slice, in the bags, I thoroughly recommend you do the Parmesan. It just gives it that little cheesy kick. Yum, Bellina. So there you go. 10 out of 10. First cooking live I've ever done that really I could have done it in 20 minutes. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for the new subscribers as well. And I hope you all have a beautiful week. And I'll be back soon making something fun. But like I said, I've also got these 10 meals in 10 minutes. So I'm going to have a look at some of the other ones and do a few of these because I really want people who don't. You guys all love cooking, but I really hope that I get some people cruising in who don't think they can cook and then try something like this and they're amazed at how yummy it is and it inspires them to have another crack. Thanks for clicking the link. Joey Wilson, arriving just when I'm ending. Good to see you, Groover. But take care, everyone. Enjoy the mushroom soup if you make it. If you do, please put comments under the video too, because I'd love your feedback. And again, thanks to the new subscribers on the Shxtty Kitty Kitchen channel. Love you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a fabulous week ahead as well. Bye, Groovers.